How you doing, fight fans? EJ Boxing Live here with Now TV. We're gonna cover the PANTERA NERY fight versus Shinsuke Yamanaka. So now it's gonna go into the intricacies of the fight and the missed weight. Go ahead now, explain.
Yeah, so Shinsuke Yamanaka, him and Luis Nery fought in August of this past year, 2017. And Nery defeated Yamanaka, albeit by somewhat controversial circumstances, considering the fact that he did test positive for clenbuterol in the aftermath of the fight. Claimed it was because of tainted beef down in Mexico. Was able to keep the WBC title, but Yamanaka, incidentally, was actually given back the Ring Magazine Bantamweight Championship. Here, before these guys were fighting, leading up into the weigh-in, it seemed like both were going to make weight okay, but it turned out it wasn't so okay. Luis Nery weighed in 5 pounds overweight, weighed in 123 pounds. They gave him 2 hours to be able to cut 5 pounds. He only cut 2, he got down to 121. And he looked just completely starched after the weigh-in, whereas Yamanaka looked, primed and ready to go. They came to an agreement between the two of them, basically stating that they would have a same-day weigh-in for Nery specifically, and that he could rehydrate to no higher than 128 pounds 8 hours before they're scheduled to fight. So Nery did re-weigh in. He weighed 126.7, and the fight is on. So Nery's not eligible to win the WBC title, but if Yamanaka defeats him, he will be the WBC champion once again. Absolutely.
So without further ado, we're gonna go to the fight. So stay with us. How you doing, fight fans? So we're back here with Now TV, round 1, Yamanaka versus Nery. So now the rematch is here. Give us what you think.
Yeah, the rematch is on. Nery looked really bad yesterday at the weigh-in, trying to cut the weight, wasn't able to make it. Yamanaka looked fresh, ready to go, ready for revenge. That's pretty much the reason why this fight is still on. I mean, because in most circumstances, I think the fighter that was in Yamanaka's position wouldn't have taken the fight, would have just sued the crap out of Nery for missing weight.
Yeah, absolutely as well. And you can see Yamanaka still working his jab. He's ranked in pound for pound. I think pound for pound number 8 or 9, or I think it was ranked. Nery, on the other hand, because he's missing weight, this is a situation like Diego Corrales versus Luis Castillo. Like he couldn't defend his belt, so he's been stripped of the belt. So he's coming in off slightly weight, but he's in the weight limit of them for that they actually can fight. So Yamanaka actually took the fight. But I tell you what, this ain't gonna be easy, because he's Yamanaka's coming off a loss, and he hasn't lost for a long time.
Yeah, Yamanaka's starting fast here though, throwing a lot of jabs, looking to set it up. Good power shot to the body right there.
Yeah, beautiful.
There he's trying to measure off his jab. Yamanaka definitely has the height and reach advantage by a couple inches each.
Yeah, and the southpaw. Yamanaka southpaw, just popping that right hand and setting them up, man. He's a long reigning champion all the way from 2012. Oh, beautiful body shot by Nery, and a left right, and he's working. And I say Yamanaka looks like he's in trouble here. He's holding them shots there, and Nery's on flying, starting to a flying start. And then if anything, just missed that right hand bomb right there. Yamanaka better keep his defense.
Jab.
Body shot.
Damn, there missed the left.
I tell you, this fight started at a tremendous pace, and it's the same referee from the first fight as well. Yamanaka still popping that jab, popping that right southpaw jab, and Nery's just trying to get closer. Nery ain't holding back, and there's a little uppercut there. He's popping the jab, and the crowd, for a Japanese crowd, are rowdy on here. They're very rowdy and revved up into this fight.
Yeah, Yamanaka's being a long-standing champion, has so many defenses. They're really riled up for him, trying to get his revenge here.
It's gone down. What was that now? What kind of punch was that? Was that jab?
Yeah, he just caught him with it was almost like a 2-1 jab.
Body shot behind the back of it, and he's down again. And the referee jumps in, giving the count. He's gonna give him a count, and we start a count, and that's 2 knockdowns in the space of 2 seconds. And what we up? We're out. 8, 6, 7, 8. Standing count. Yamanaka says he's fine, and that's it. 9 seconds left in round 1, and Nery's moving in for the kill. And as he sets, He senses that he can take Yamanaka out, push them down in the back, and that's it. Round 1 in the books, and that was a tremendous round. 10-8 round going towards Neri. In the slow-mo. Go ahead now.
Huge round for Neri. Could have been a 10-7.
It was
had the first knockdown actually been counted.
Yeah.
But here he comes out with a head full of steam again.
Yeah. It was a jabber.
Oh!
It was a jabber put him down. And he's still popping. I tell you what, man. He's got blood. He's got blood in his mouth, and he's going after him. Oh! What a big right hand, left hook, right hook. Sends Yamanaka down square on his pants, and the referee gives the count, and that's 2 knockdowns. Should I say 3 knockdowns? But I don't think they counted the first one. And we're in the second round, and he's down again. Now, go ahead now.
Man, huge shots, putting him down. Now he's going for the kill early. Oh man, Yamanaka's frustrated. You can see the look on his face.
I don't think this fight's gonna go any longer. I think they might be looking to throw the talent. This is the desperation for Yamanaka. He might need to hold here. He might need, and he's firing back like a champion. And once was a great champion, and he's down again, and the referee's called it off. And and the thing is, I'd like to say new champion, but he didn't get the belt because he lost the belt on the scales. But that might be the end of the great Shinsuke Yamanaka's long illustrious career. And I tell you what, man, that fight went down on a hell. That was a barn burner. That was a barn burner.
Yes, it was, man. Made the first fight look like it was nothing close to it. Just the destructive force of Neri in this fight. He looked like, maybe at 118 pounds, he was actually compromising himself to even make that weight. Here at 121, 122, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he was firing on all cylinders with more power and speed than I've ever seen from him. Yamanaka was brave and a bit of maybe foolish pride to go in there and try and get revenge on a fighter that was just naturally bigger and stronger than him. But he went out like a warrior, which is really unfortunate, considering how illustrious of a career the guy's had.
And there's Neri hugging Yamanaka. Yamanaka's looking at him. He's giving this look like saying, "You mugged me off twice. That's twice you done me." Drugs, the first fight, he got found for drugs, Neri, and now the second fight, he came in overweight, and Yamanaka accepted it. He gave him a long stare.
Yamanaka wasn't having any of it.
It looks like he's got conned. It looks like, what the heck did we do here? I think that was a big mistake in their fight. And then it's the ring MC. Oh my days. Yeah, he's just giving a look like saying, I don't know. Do you think he'll continue his career now?
Honestly, I'm not sure if he really is. I mean, considering the fact that he was on such a high, he was undefeated up until he fought Neri the first time, and then he took 2 losses to the same guy, in his mid-30s now. A guy that's had such a long career, was a long reigning champion, was like damn near unstoppable as the bantamweight champion, the lineal bantamweight champion. And I mean, it's hard to come back from tough losses like that. 2 stoppages in a row to the same person.
He went down from a jab. For the first one, he southpaw jab, like he went down from a jab, and Neri was just all over him, as you can see in this slow mo right here. Just getting a solid beat. I don't think he's ever been beaten. Look at that right hand, beautiful. He turned it over beautifully. I tell you what, in the whole of his career, he's never been beat down like this before, man. And it happened to what's the other Uchiyama in the same situation when he fought against Castillo, right? Is it Castillo he went against?
Are you talking about Jezreel Corrales?
Corrales, yeah, Jezreel Corrales, same sort of thing in the rematch. It actually happened reverse. In Jezreel Corrales, the first fight, he stopped him, and the second fight, he went the distance. In the same sort of thing, the same sort of fashion. I wonder if he's going to continue his career, try and make a comeback. But that beat down was hard, man. He got beat down, just dogged, and he got to deal with this for months. Oh, look that! Oh man, just vicious. Look, Neri's all over him.
Yeah.
Where does Neri go from now? Neri moves up a weight. Stay at the weight?
Yeah, I think he pretty much has to. He can't make 118 anymore. That's clear. But even still, as a 122 pounder or even 126 pounder, but I think 122 pounder, he looms as a dangerous opponent. Considering the fact that he was, at least briefly, the WBC champion. I could very well see him fighting the WBC champion at super bantamweight, Ray Vargas, who's shown himself to be, you know, a top tier super bantam. You know, maybe to get Guillermo Rigondeaux in the mix there, Daniel Roman, who has the WBA strap, Ryosuke Wasa, who has the IBF strap, and of course Jesse Magdaleno with the WBO strap. I mean, honestly, I think he's live against anybody and everybody there. Just the power, the speed, the fury. He's a handful. You know, as soon as that bell rings, he's looking to take your head off. And you know, unfortunately for Yamanaka, he did so in much more brutal fashion this time than the first.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like the Rigo fight. I like the Rigo. If Rigo wants to make a bounce back, I think it's a good statement fight to come back and face that one. I like that fight right there, man.
Yeah.
Whether it happen, whether Rigo wants to fight again and now, but listen, if this guy moving the division after what he just did, listen, puts Rigo back in. Rigo, this is a good fight. He's in your weight class. You're fighting at your weight. Don't have to worry about going up and stuff like that. This guy's strong as well. But the only worry about is he's going to be taking drugs though. He's going to take drugs. You know, this guy.
Well, for this fight, at the very least, they did do, you know, randomized VADA testing. Hopefully, it all comes back clear and clean in the end, and hopefully, we don't have any more controversies like happened in the first fight. So. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Well, it was a good fight, a night, and I tell you what, man. I'd like to say we got a new star in boxing, but hey, there's some. we
definitely got a new bad guy. We got maybe a new anti-hero, a new villain.
A new Ricardo Mayorga, a new Roberto Duran,
Antonio Margarito. Start naming the names, man. He's going out there looking to, you know, not even caring about what people say about him. He's going out there to just do damage, and that's what he's been doing so far. So let's see if he's able to continue doing so.
Yeah, absolutely as well. So hey, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see what happens with UCC Yamanaka and see what with Neri. I'm EJ Boxing Live, Now TV. We'll catch you later. Peace.